Recently, we clipped a piece of a live training series that we recently held all about the two different types of families that we see when it comes to securing a debt-free degree. In today's video, we are going to do that again with another important piece from that live training. And in fact, this piece actually can help you categorize all of the dozens and dozens of different strategies that we have released in regards to working towards a debt-free degree. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Debt-Free Degree Lab, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures and avoid that dreaded student loan debt that a lot of students are stuck paying on average over 20 years. So in today's video, we are going to dive into what I call the 4 C's to a debt-free degree. This is what we use. This is a framework we use that can help families really categorize a lot of strategies so that they don't feel overwhelmed. One of the biggest reasons that I've seen families not secure a debt-free degree isn't because they didn't want to, but it's because they were overwhelmed. And so that's the goal here. We want to not only provide strategies, but provide them in a way that your family can implement them one step at a time, which you should understand that from the last video, but one step, one strategy at a time, and actually make progress rather than just taking in a ton of information and not doing anything with it. So again, we want to avoid that overwhelm. So in this important video, you're going to learn where we've gotten these, where we've learned this from, and you're going to get a quick run through of the 4 C's. If you are interested, make sure you hit subscribe because in the future, I'm going to record a more in-depth video for each of the 4 C's. So that's coming down the pipeline. All right, now lastly, one of the things that I mentioned in here is a debt-free degree assessment. This is something that is very helpful for families to identify, do you have opportunities to work towards a debt-free degree or not? And if so, what are they? If you want that assessment, you can go to the scholarshipsystem.com/waitlist, and whenever we do this live training series again, you'll be the first to get an invitation to it and get that assessment along with all the other workbooks that really encompass these 4 C's. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the 4 C's to a debt-free degree so that you and your family can start pursuing that hashtag rebel family mentality and avoid decades of student debt. Now, this assessment is based on what I call the 4 C's to a debt-free degree. Actually, before I get into that, you might be wondering how I figured all this out. So let me just very quickly tell you where this is coming from. So I started this process as the first in my family, my junior year in high school. And that's when I realized my family could not afford college. And I certainly didn't want to borrow student loans. We were in what I call the income gap, where my parents could never cut a check to pay for it. Yet I wouldn't get a free ride because we were told we made too much. Sound familiar? I also doubted that I could do it because I was actually a pretty average student. My SAT today is well below average. On top of that, athletics, that's a whole nother story, but it definitely wasn't an option. And if any of this sounds familiar, let me tell you, I know what it's like because I felt hopeless. I even questioned, man, is this worth going? Because I was so terrified of student debt. But I was tired of spinning my wheels. And I knew that identifying these opportunities for really reducing what we had to pay and then finding debt-free money, that was the key to getting what I was after. And so I set out to find a way to make that happen. Now, again, I ended up graduating debt-free, but I actually even got paid to go to school because I maximized every opportunity out there. Remember that staircase? I had tons of strategies. And so hopefully you're ready to identify strategies that your family can use and do the same. So if you are, you're going to love this, okay? Now, I also want to say something before I get into the 4 C's. We are not talking about one big free ride here. If your student can get that, the kids that get millions of dollars in scholarships from 30 different universities, that's amazing. But let's be realistic. Many students, including myself, will not experience that, okay? If yours does, again, fantastic. That's amazing. You will still find strategies that you can use in addition to it. Nothing wrong with it. But the rest of us, mere mortals, have to combine efforts, okay? And that is where these 4 C's come in for our college cash quadrant. So you guys are going to see this visual quite a bit as well. Okay, college cash quadrant. So let's get into the 4 C's. And hopefully you all are saying, yep, this sounds about right. So the first one is credits. Okay, credits. So this is pertaining to strategies that can help bring down the amount that your student has to pay for credits, or bring down the amount of credits that they have to pay for in the first place. So bring down the cost of the credits or bring down the amount of credits. So this is a major opportunity for families to knock off thousands of dollars or semesters. Now, the next one is college. So first was credits, then we have college. Now, college is another major opportunity. In fact, it is one of the largest, because choosing the right fit personally, academically, and financially can save your family tens of thousands of dollars. Now, if your student already chose their college or they're already there, don't worry. The rest of the C's are for you. The third one is costs, okay? Costs. So we had credits, college, costs. Little expenses add up. Many families assume that tuition is the biggest expense when it comes to a debt-free degree. However, that is not always the case. My freshman year in college, my tuition was only half, 50% of the total bill. That means that there's quite a bit of opportunity here to really save some money, to bring down that amount that has to be paid, but only if your family is open to it. And then lastly, my favorite is cash. Okay, so cash, cash, cash. This involves not only freeing up existing cash that your family has, but also identifying debt-free cash that your student can secure to pay for college. So this, again, is my personal favorite area. It's also my area of expertise, but again, it's much larger than scholarship. Now you have a better idea, again, of the 4 C's to a debt-free degree. All right, now I want to hear from all of you quickly. What would life look like if your student could graduate completely debt-free? How would you feel, or what would your future look like? How would that be different? Let me know in the comments. How will life be different if you can identify opportunities for reducing the amount that your family has to pay for college or borrow for college? Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to read these. Please invite your friends and family, okay? So if they're trying to figure out how to pay for college, if you're like, hey, you guys are doing this soon, you should join now, please invite them, because they can get caught up now. It's not too late. Now's the time to invite and spread the word if you can. So you know that we live right now in one of the greatest periods for young adults. It can be, for starting their life. There's technology. They're accomplishing things that used to take decades in a matter of months. They can reach so many people so quickly and create value in such a way and impact the world in ways that we never were able to do in the past. And so in reality, there is so much opportunity beyond college, but being buried in student loan debt, and the people who say that that's just the way it is, that threatens that opportunity for your child. Please know that your family can do this. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You will have naysayers. You will have people telling you, you're crazy, just borrow the money, there's nothing you can do. But when you combine dedication and your interest, your genuine interest in minimizing that cost of college, along with having the right strategies, the sky is the limit. And so everything that you want for your child, it can be possible. And when that happens, you will feel that relief, that less stress, that joy, that excitement. And I'm excited for you guys being here. All right, so there you have it. That was a very quick view of the 4 C's to a debt-free degree. And again, in future videos, I'm going to go in more and more in depth on these 4 C's. But I hope that gave you a quick idea of how families can really continue implementing strategies throughout all 4 years of college. So this can begin early in high school, as early as freshman, sophomore year in high school, and continue all the way until they are walking across that graduation stage from the university, not from high school. That is not when this finishes. It is when they graduate from college. And in fact, actually, some students continue to do these strategies for a graduate degree. So I hope that that really just helped kind of give you a framework that you can bucket a lot of our strategies that we share into. Now, again, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss future strategies. And if you want that assessment, make sure you go to thescholarshipsystem.com/waitlist and get on that list so that whenever we do hold this free training again, you will be the first to know. All right. Again, this is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Debt Free Degree Lab. I'll see you in the next training.